Good morning, Level 2 geographers. Today you're going to be doing two things. Today we're going to be looking at Rostow's model for development, or Rostow's model of development, and then we're going to be looking at the characteristics to development. So you were introduced to development over the last few weeks because we're looking at the topic of differences in development. So you should know what development is, and there is a little task for you, just a recap task on that to do a little bit later on. Today I want to start with looking at Rostow's model of development. I find this, or any model, I find any model to be slightly confusing when you're looking at it just by yourself. So I thought me just talking you through it would really help you. So Rostow's development model of development is all about a country going from a little rural traditional society and developing into a high mass consumption, big country that is economically advanced. If we start down here, you can see traditional society, limited technology, static society. So very small, very rural community. You'd call it very much an LADC community, so less economically developed country or area. What then needs to happen is commercial exploitation from agriculture and extractive industry. What that means is lots of mining. Okay, so extractive industry, lots of mining, and then making lots of money, be it with neighbouring countries or regions or communities through agriculture and that mining. The takeoff means that's where the country really starts to economically benefit from its work. Okay, so the installation of infrastructure to really broaden the horizons in terms of accessing different industries, accessing different places to sell your product, your resources. So therefore the country develops economically, and therefore that economic development starts to spread into society as well, politically, economically, and socially as well. The drive to maturity. Now this is where a lot of countries are going through right now. I would consider places like Dubai and the United Arab Emirates as one of these places where it's a lot of those places in the Middle East there have benefited a lot from oil, extraction of oil, but now they're trying to expand and solidify their economy by expanding into different industries. Okay, so maturing their economy. That's what that means. So if you are maturing your economy, it means you're trying to really solidify it and not just make it a one source economy. And then high mass consumption is where MEDCs are at today, where it's very much a revolving economy. People are making money, spending money on different resources, different services, and the economy continues to develop. Yes, there are ups and downs, just like any economy can see, but with high mass consumption means that people are using lots of things, therefore being able to produce a lot of things, and the cycle goes on. That's pretty much all I need you to know about Rostow's model of development. When we're looking at two examples of development, the USA and Laos, we will be talking about and hoping to reference Rostow's model. If I could just take you down to here in this little handout, and I'll make this available in the file section. This is why Rostow's model is good, and this is why Rostow's model is bad. Rostow's model is really, really good because it's based on historical development of countries. Countries have developed this way, and therefore they've created the model from it. Okay, that's pretty much why it's a good thing. Why it's bad, there's a number of reasons. Both because it is developed from historical data, that meaning countries don't develop this way anymore. Okay, and that's why it's sort of considered to be a bad example or mistrusted in some ways. Also, it's considered very linear. We know what linear means, in a line. Okay, and what that means is that this model often is criticised for that, because if a country veers from this model, or this model suggests that a country can't veer, it can't change its ways, it can't do something different than what the model suggests. And then it also doesn't really consider technological advances, and also it says this model is going on the premise that every country has lots of resources, which we know is not the case, and we'll find out in terms of Laos. Okay, guys, so that's a little bit of a simplified version of Rostow's model. If you can get down those notes or make this handout part of your notes, that would be a really smart choice. And then just refer back to the post that I'm going to make in a couple of minutes about what we need to be doing today about the characteristics of development. Miss Tomlinson has made an awesome handout for you in terms of the characteristics of development, so it's a big thanks to that, and we'll be working through it. Awesome, thanks, boys.